Okay guys, welcome to my next video on Assetto Corsa. In this video today we're going to be looking at another special event. It's the British Racing Green event, driving the McLaren 12c GT3 race car. We're going to have a quick look at the stats that this GT3 car's got. It's pushing out 493 horsepower, weighing just 1,245 kilograms. We're racing at Silverstone GP track, which is 5,901 meters long, racing at 2 o'clock, clear weather and 22 degrees. Okay, so we're going to start the track guide now. So we're going to be going into the final bend, going into 4th gear before we get there to make sure we get a nice clean exit from the corner. Going over the start finish line, we're going to be going into 5th gear, and then we're going to be looking out for the left, the AstroTurf on the left, and we're going to take this corner in 5th gear, using some of the Astro on the right there to stay nice and tight in on the apex, hard on the throttle through this corner. Then we're going to look out for the braking just before the red curb on the left, going down into 2nd gear, tight in on the curb there on the apex, and into 3rd gear to dull the power a bit, hard on the power, and then down into 2nd gear, tight again on the apex, and accelerating through the gears all the way through 4th gear, no lifting at all through this corner, flat out as we come into the next braking zone, where we're going to be looking out for the white board on the right hand side, the corner entry board. So we're going to be braking down into 4th gear and then going down into 3rd gear just through the corner. As we go through the corner, watch out for the back end, then hard on the power into 4th gear briefly and back down to 3rd gear. Now we want to get the car squared off so we can get on the power as early as possible, and hard on the throttle, flat out now onto this long straight. So we're now going to be looking at the next turning in point for this fast right hander, one of the best bends on Silverstone track. So we're going to go down into 4th gear as we approach that change of colour in tarmac. It's trying to keep a nice tight line, hard on the power to keep as much speed through the corner as possible. Be careful not to run wide. Into 5th gear, then into 6th gear through these amazing bends now. As we go into 6th gear, down into 5th gear for this part, and down into 4th gear for the next stage of the corners. We're staying in 4th gear through these now. We're going to try and use as much of the curb as possible. We get a little bit of understeer there, but we manage to get on the power and keep the car on the line that we need to be going. We're going into 5th gear, then accelerating through the gears into 6th gear, looking out for the next braking point now, where we're going to be braking halfway in between the board on the left there and the curb, going down into 4th gear, staying in 4th gear for this corner. Just lift a little bit to make sure the car doesn't run wide, and hard on the throttle once the grip's fully there. So now we're looking for the next braking zone, which is just before the curb on the right again, going down into 3rd gear, then 2nd gear for the apex, trying to get it nice and tight so we can get on the power as early as possible. We give it a little lift there, we didn't really need to, we could have stayed flat on, I think. We're going through the gears, 4th gear, then 5th gear, then over the line for a 2 minutes 1.5. And I think you can see that was a pretty nice lap. There wasn't many mistakes in the lap. I think there was a low 201 possible. We lifted in a few places maybe, but we shouldn't have done. Okay, so we're going to run through the setup that we use for this lap. As you can see there, we were running obviously fuel on lowest setting for a 1 lap stint, brake balance on 69. Now aero, you can run 0.4. I actually ran 0.5 on that lap, but 0.4 might actually work out slightly faster if you can get everything perfect. We're running no traction control for this setup, remember, so 0.5 just felt a little bit more consistent. Drivetrain, we've altered the gears, lowered on the final gearing, and we've also altered a couple of gears within that, I think, so just make sure you take note of them. Power on the differential 70 feels really nice, and the differential the off coasting 45. Now tyre pressure's quite low again, 24. It's a 1 lap. Obviously for 1 lap you want to get as much grip as you can. Camber's nearly maxed out on the front, maxed out on the rear. Toe -1 on the front and +2 on the rear, just to give us a bit of rear stability coming out of some of the corners. Right height has been adjusted so that we can attack the curbs, and it feels actually really nice at that height. I think I got the right height spot on. Springs feel really nice for attacking the corners, the fast corners and the slow corners. And we adjusted the travel range. As you can see there, we lowered the travel range of the tires so that they because the bump stops were quite low, so basically it's not going to flick the car out as much when you're hitting curbs. It feels quite nice. It seems to be perfectly balanced for the curbs, for attacking the curbs, and the fast rebound's also been slightly adjusted along with the normal rebound and the fast bump. I think we may have adjusted some of them settings a fair bit. I was playing around with the setup quite a lot on this one, so I can't remember what the default was. I altered so many things. I do a lot of experimenting, just in one thing at a time, so just take note of the settings and see what you think. I think you'll find the car drives really nicely. It's one of my favourite setups I've done so far. It feels really planted. You're running no traction control, and it just feels like there's a lot of grip there, and you can really attack the corners. Be interesting to run an online race, because this car is one of the weaker GT3 cars, I think, on this track. But I feel like I've got it up there as a very competitive car now. So anyway guys, if you like this video and you've tried the setup out and you like what you've seen, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and I'll be back with more videos soon. I'll leave you with the TV camera from that lapse for you to enjoy. Thanks again for watching guys.